You are about to watch one of our videos taking part in our Victor and Valentino's Cinco de Mayo celebration. But stick around at the end of the video and find out where you can get your very own sticker of Valentino. For now, on with the show.
Welcome everybody to the Cartoon Show's month-long celebration of the underrated Cartoon Network series, Victor and Valentino.
I can't believe this. It's almost a month, and the Switch 2's coming out. So I can't believe. Oh gosh! Am I mentioning Switch 2? I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little antsy about the new Nintendo console over here.
But we're not going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 today, since everyone else has been talking about it. But today, we're going to be talking about Victor and Valentino, the underrated Cartoon Network series that was unfortunately canceled.
And, may I add, written off. But the reason why we're doing this is just because, well, part of the reason is because of all the Cinco de Mayo and stuff and all that stuff. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this.
We are going to do an interview with Diego Molano at the end of the month, who is the creator of the series and the voice of Victor Calavera.
But today, we're going to start things off because I'm pretty sure, as most of y'all probably seen by now, we had a short go up about one of the bumpers, and holy moly, the views have been going insane over it!
Probably because it's only 8 seconds long. But since we're celebrating Victor and Valentino's mythical and mystical adventures in Monte Macabre, we wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts. That being an episode from Season 1 that we both enjoy.
Yeah, and there's actually a reason for this, and I'm pretty sure you all are like, wait a minute, did you guys talk about this already? And yes, we did, and we're going to talk about Escape from Bebe Bay again. But now, hold on. Before you guys start saying, why are you guys doing a re-upload or something? There is a reason for this, and we're going to explain a little bit why. Because after making this review, we started to discover a whole lot more about what was going to happen and things like that with it. But for starters, I think it would be only making sense to talk about kind of like a whole backstory about how it all began. And that was more so because I just remember sitting on my phone, minding my business, and sitting on my phone, but I don't even know. But I was just sitting, chilling down, minding my business, and then I see on Cartoon Network's YouTube page, Baby Vic and Val, and I'm like, wait, what? So I click on it, and the whole clip, I was like, wait, what's going on? And it ended so abruptly, so I really couldn't figure it out. So I had no idea what was going on. And there was even, I remember that, unfortunately, it's not with us anymore. I think it's because of all the write-offs and stuff. But there was a much more extended clip of it from the UK that got millions of views. But unfortunately, as I mentioned, that got taken down. But if we backtrack just a little bit, we did see Valentino as a giant baby, or I like to call a babyzilla, in Balloon Boys, more particularly. But we think that it would be fair to talk about this episode again because we do get to see them as babies, but because we heard about some things, we wanted to talk about how some of these new concepts could have made it a little bit better. Not to say that the episode was terrible. No. The episode's not even close to terrible, but there were a couple of things that kind of pushed our buttons a little bit, if that's the right term. But amazingly, I can't believe that I'm going to have to say this, but Molano himself actually told us some things about what happened that did not make the cut. And Spencer Rothbell actually helped us with this too. So, because of this, we have some very interesting information about how the episode was supposed to play. Because there were two concepts of this. Two. Not just one, but two.
So basically, after we recorded our interview with Diego, we asked him a couple of questions about Bebe Bay.
In the original Bebe Bay episode, it would have followed Victor and Valentino venturing off to an island where they find the Fountain of Youth, bottle its magical waters, and make some kind of a fortune. But after they sneak a taste of the water, both of them transform into babies, and they must find a way to reverse the effects before they end up getting stranded on the island. Additionally, the boys were going to encounter a ghost named Hernando, which was supposed to be a version of Ponce de Leon, the conquistador explorer who was trying to find the Fountain of Youth.
So that was kind of the whole thing, but they said it was going to be more so of an extended episode. So I'm assuming that it was going to be like half an hour long, like kind of like a couple other of those half-hour episodes that we've had here and there. But because things were a little bit complicated with the story, they had to change things up a little bit, resulting in Baby Breakout, because this thing was phase 1, Baby Breakout was phase number 2, and most of the plot remained the same. However, instead of like the whole facial cream thing that we had the whole water thing from this concept that we had. But
yeah,
instead,
they still used the Fountain of Youth water.
yeah, they still use the water, but instead of like trying to splash or drink it, they more so use it for like water squirters, kind of like for like maybe like a water battle to cool off during the summer or something like that.
Well, the show does take place in the summer, so it makes total sense.
But the thing is that Cacao wants to try and join them, but Vic and Val taunt him or her. I actually don't know Cacao's gender.
Actually, it was Victor that I believe it was Victor that teased Cacao. Valentino was trying to, be a little bit protective.
Yeah, but the thing is, because that Cacao was so tiny and everything, he just couldn't play. And then, whenever they get drenched in this water, most of the plot remains the same. Dawn as well, because Dawn was also included. But instead of all the babbling and all that stuff, Dawn actually talked just like them. So, most of the stuff remained the same, but there were a couple of different things that didn't make the cut. Instead of the antidote being like another facial cream thing, the antidote was some kind of like a miracle grow sort of thing in Sochi's garden that would help reverse it. And amazingly, there was a much happier ending where Vic and Val actually make amends with Cacao, apologizing and everything. So fortunately, it was going to have a much sweeter tone than the ending that we actually got.
Yeah. But there were going to be some really adorable gags all throughout the original outline of the new premise.
Yeah.
Such as Baby Victor adorably giggling at a mobile, and Valentino as a baby sucking his thumb, and Baby Victor throwing a tantrum and being comforted after their first escape attempt backfires.
But another thing that we didn't really see, I don't think we saw this at all in the show. Please correct me if I'm wrong, please. Because, to be kind of honest, I kind of, not to say that things got really, really, infuriating too much or whatever, but I kind of got a little bit disappointed with how the third season was going, and then all the HBO Max removal and write-off stuff was happening, so I kind of, I started to get to a point where talking about the show made me lose my mind, but before all this stuff was happening, there was supposed to be flashbacks where Vic and Val were actually given more so of character development, which, honestly, I would have totally loved to see.
As Diego described to us, he wanted to do a scene where Victor and Valentino first met when they were babies. In the beginning, the two of them were in a bit of a quote-unquote standoff, but when baby Valentino gave baby Victor a little sticker of a chili pepper wearing sunglasses, and baby Victor started to share half of his chocolate, and adorably, the two of them end up rolling around and laughing away like they're little luchadors, which warms their father's heart and when he sees them getting along together.
Cartoon Network, why didn't you give us that? We would have loved to see it, man! Come on!
Well, as Diego told us when he was, revealing all these never before talked about concepts about the characters and the show and everything else, things were going on at Cartoon Network because of, the Warner Brothers takeover and saving money, and also because of how small the fan base was for Victor and Valentino.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic of their
but
part.
I think we would totally get the idea that Vic and Val would have met as babies, because before we met Diego, when we did the interview, we actually figured that Vic and Val would have met as babies because they were born a year apart from each other.
And Diego actually did confirm their ages for everybody that doesn't know. But thankfully, because of the theories that we were wondering about their ages and all that stuff, he actually sort of confirmed that what we came up with was, in a way, legit.
Either that, or we just read his mind before we even met him.
But there's something shocking about him, about Colin.
Colin and Victor and Valentino fan Silly Beans on Discord are developing a fan-made 4th season featuring the return of baby Victor and Valentino themselves.
Quay would come up with a hilarious prank to turn everybody in Monte Macabre into babies. Sort of like as a practical joke, because he's more of a trickster god.
But the thing is, he and his buddies did that just for fun, right?
Yeah, me and my friend Silly Beans. By the way, hello, Silly Beans!
But here's the thing. And we completely lost our minds when this is the case. Diego himself actually said that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, we were going to get a sequel of Bebe Bay and have baby Victor and Valentino come back.
But then, what else do you think happened? Warner Brothers Discovery took that opportunity away from us! What were they thinking with getting rid of that, bro? Like, come on!
Yeah, but thankfully, we're sort of, me and my friend Silly Beans and a few other Vic and Val fans on Discord, we're currently working on a fan-made 4th season of the series, and in a way, we're sort of bringing Diego's ideas for a sequel and, you know, making it into a fan fiction.
Yeah, so thankfully it's sort of being revived in a way. But despite this, we have been trying our own little freedom ideas with Baby Vic and Val because of like a whole fan fiction thing that we've done, and he worked with somebody for a while to get some sort of a comic put out, but it's been partial, and I actually have no idea if the rest of them or the rest of the parts are going to be released, so hopefully
in good time.
Hopefully it'll happen, but
we've been pretty busy working on this YouTube show for you guys.
But thankfully, with our own concepts we've had with this, thankfully wouldn't be just them, because we thought of Miguelito, Gustavo, and Isabella as babies too, just for extra cuteness and heart and all that stuff. And that actually leads...
we would have seen them as babies in the sequel, but I guess in a way we're sort of making it happen now.
But thankfully...
This is the thing, the Baby Vic and Val things we do are more so of a side project when we do... like stuff we do when we're not making videos.
Thankfully, though, it's more so lighthearted, which makes all the sense in the world, right? Because thankfully, it focuses more on the comedy and heart that the original series had, but also adding a lot of cuteness into the mix, sort of like a little recipe, and that makes sense?
Yeah. But you want to make sure they have the right ingredients, or else you'll spoil the concoction you're making.
Exactly. And in fact, time and time again, we've come up with ways to redesign them and make them much cuter than before. And I mean, just look at them now, for Pete's sake.
In their latest designs, as you see here, I sort of made them a little bit more chubbier and stubbier, like actual babies, and redid their hair a little bit, made their eyebrows a little bit more, have like curved edges, and even made their diapers match their clothes. Like, you can see baby Victor's diaper is blue, like his poncho, and Valentino's diaper is orange, like his sleeveless shirt that he wore in the series.
Yeah, so in a way, it's going kind of full circle. So, long story short, we had a whole lot of ideas about this one particular thing, so sorry if we're getting a little carried away about it, but there's just been so much that we've been thinking about with this, and we want to know if you guys are interested in this. Well, what do you guys think about this? And, like, do you guys have any other contents and concepts for stuff like this?
Or if you have any other ideas for how you would bring Victor and Valentino back in your own way? What would you like to see if the show ever did get a 4th season? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll share them in a future video, or we'll respond. And also, special thanks to our good friend Diego Molano for providing us all the information about everything that was being developed for the show regarding Baby Vic and Val. So we're not making this stuff up. We actually heard about it from him himself.
Yep.
But until then, stay tuned for more Victor and Valentino videos throughout the month, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Attention all Victor and Valentino fans. Have you ever wanted to own a sticker of one of your favorite characters? Well, now you can. Today, you can order your very own sticker of Valentino himself. He's 3.5 inches tall, has a holographic heart design, is waterproof, and customly designed by a hardcore Victor and Valentino fan. He's only $5, plus $4.25 shipping and handling. For more information, visit the Hoshi no Miko store on the Etsy website. Link in the video description below and over on the community tab on our YouTube channel. Bring home Valentino today.